It's a weird thing to say, but it's interesting when you meet the strongest of anything, right? So I'm like literally meeting the strongest woman in the world. That's crazy. Her name is Brendali Theron, right? I'm not going to do a massive intro. Just know that she's the world's strongest woman. Is that how you introduce yourself?
No, my friends introduced me that way.
Because it's a flex to know the world's strongest woman. That's like, and you know the moment, this is so weird. So I must tell our listeners. So you come in, and I don't know, because we've been planning this for a week or a bit now, right? A little bit more than a week. And so you build up, and I didn't Google you on purpose. I wanted to kind of just have a reaction to you. And you know, you think of She-Hulk. Remember She-Hulk on Mark? Like, I expected She-Hulk to walk through the door, and then have you heard that you're like petite, right?
Yes, I have heard that.
Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, what kind of kid grows up to want to be the strongest of anything? What was your childhood like?
I was always an active girl, I would say, and sports was always there, but I didn't specifically had in mind that I would be the world's strongest woman. It is definitely a dream that came along the way. Yeah. That for sure, yeah.
But no, man, you make it sound easy. Like, you might want to wake up and I want to be the world's tallest man. Shelby was to wake up tomorrow and say, I'm going to become the world's tallest man. You're underplaying, like, you've always been sporty, right?
Yes.
When, Brendali, where were you when you said, or who told you I could become this? Because sports, I always look at sports people and I go, there is this is somebody who's fanatical about something. They are obsessive about it. They eat, they sleep it, and their entire life revolves around it. Like, if you think what it takes to become the world's fastest man, for example, like Usain Bolt, it's not an ordinary person. It's a slightly skewed, quirky person. Talk to me about that, because to become the world's strongest person isn't just you wake up one day and you go, okay, I'll do this. You know, what was it? What happened? Where were you? What was going on?
That goes a long way back, I think. So I have always, like I said, been sporty. Yes. I've done netball in school, because that was always like cardio was kind of our mindset that was training, until I completely ripped off my ankle ligaments.
Really?
And the doctors told me that that's it. You will not be able to do
and stuff?
Lateral ligaments.
Oh,
yes, okay, so it was completely off.
Netball that rough?
Yes, it is.
I need to look at netball differently now. Yeah, wow.
So, and then it was in the period that I've met my coach Robin, and he was actually the one with all the crazy ideas of pulling a plane. And he was like, do you want to become a world champion? After the doctors kind of downed me with the news that you will never be able to do sports.
I mean, you're licking
so, yes.
And he's like saying, do you want to pull a plane?
Yes.
I can't even
yeah, I think if I really had to take it back, it would be down to that. And I thought also this is a really extremely crazy guy, but I can only learn from it. Yeah. And that was the journey. That's where the journey actually rooted and started with.
Yeah. So, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we had Angela Ewan, right, in studio. She's a female mountaineer, only the second woman to ever summit on the north side of Mount Everest.
Wow.
But she's the first woman in 30 years to do it, right?
Amazing.
And then you get to speak to people like yourself, and you realize that there's something you're chasing. What are you chasing?
I always chase to inspire people. And I have this thing that you want to evolve. If you achieve something, you want to evolve to something more, and you want to step towards the next goal that you want to achieve. So that for me is a very big thing. I am a person that seeks growth, and you always want to inspire people along the way of doing something new, and something out there. Yes.
But are you surprised at how people respond to you?
Sometimes it's like weird.
but I mean,
yes.
There's something special about somebody who achieves something, and like you said, now I'm in the phase now. I'm going back to defend it.
Yes.
It reminds me of, you know, meeting you. I think of what Drickus has done in the UFC.
Yes.
I think of what the Springboks have done, you know. I
Yes,
think of what
yes.
the world's strongest man is also South African.
Yes, so it's
you're in
been
a
a
class of your
journey.
own,
Yes,
right?
me and Drickus was actually sponsored together by RDX when I was still back in South Africa.
Okay.
So that was also amazing to see people that you
Yeah.
started with the journey. And then Reno, I've met about a year and a half ago as well. So that it's really great to see South Africans really push
Yeah.
through, because it's
And
not
do
all.
amazingly well.
Yes, it's not always that easy to have the support to go and do it overseas. It's far for us to travel.
Yeah. So where are you based now?
And I'm based in Dubai because of that.
Okay.
So it's kind of
I
more
love
a
Dubai.
center. Yes.
Yeah. Where in Dubai do you live?
I
Don't
live.
give your address because people will call you.
I live
The area.
in JVC area.
Oh,
Yes,
I love it,
yes,
I love it,
yes.
I love it. I normally stay in the financial sector next to the
busy
museum-
part.
Yeah, the Museum of the Future.
That's
I don't
it.
know, it's like a deer. I love the shiny bits and all that stuff, and all and Mohammed Sektek Road. The idea of having to move, because I mean, South Africa, you know, South Africa has a gees, right? It's got a
Yes,
spirit.
100%.
So your challenge isn't just that you're competing at the highest level, but you're doing it in a foreign environment where it's not. What has that mental challenge been like?
That has been a crazy adventure and something I'm really proud of achieving,
Dubai is
going
pretty-
over myself
Yeah.
there, starting over. And I've also switched careers. So I've been a graphic designer in South Africa full-time and
Yeah.
part-time coach. When I moved to Dubai, I switched to coaching fully. And the graphic design I will implement
Yeah.
when needed.
But I think the environment
So-
also appreciates you being a champion in that environment.
Yes,
right? Yeah?
yes. So it made it a little bit easier for traveling
Yeah.
purposes. But the rest, it's been challenging. Like
Yeah.
COVID times, it was a 2-year plan, and here we are 7 years down the line.
And you're the
So
world champion.
yes,
Take me back to that moment when your coach says, "Okay, you know, obviously the body is a bit messed up, netball," and take me through. Because I've watched it. I've watched it in fascination. I mean, Tim goes to he's also a bit of a gym bunny. Shelby, you're not. I mean, I'm not
No,
giving you
I don't
that
think
compliment.
anything. Just say anything, no.
Shelby like a strandloper, you know, walks wherever. But what was when did you know, Brendali, that I can do this? Because is it as simple as, what was the heaviest thing you picked up and said, actually, I can do this? Or what is the mental moment where you go, I can actually do this?
that is always something that will come after I've actually accomplished something, because it feels really surreal.
So what was the first thing you put up that you wanted to accomplish and you did it?
It was the African log lift record.
Okay, log lift. Okay.
Yes, so that's
like
a
the tree,
big
right?
awkward chunk that you have to
Yeah.
press.
Kilograms?
I have the record of 80 kilograms at the
80
moment.
kilograms.
Yes, that was in 2017. I think that was the most surreal moment, even though we have so many wins. But
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger came in because it was the Arnold Classics.
Oh, I remember that.
And
yeah.
his bodyguards was just pushing me out of the way. And I'm like, what are you doing? I have to go and lift, because your mind is so set in.
Yeah.
And he's sitting in front of you and taking his Snapchat while I was doing the record. And everyone is like, how can you do that? I'm like, I just completely switched off. I had
Yeah.
to rewatch the videos of him
Yeah.
congratulating me, because we did we met the record. We set a new one, and then I set one above that.
So that's 80.
Yes, so it was 70. I went for 75 and then 80 kilograms, and all while he was watching. So I mean, the pressure was
That's a
on.
special moment. That's so special, right?
But that is one of the moments that really will stand out till this day. And then there is lifts I've done in November as well. I have the African record.
year, November.
Yes, here on Africa's Strongest. I set the record for 200 deadlifts. That was also another milestone
200
for
deadlifts at what
Yes.
kilograms?
200 kilograms. Yes. Yes.
Just like, take a
And-
moment. You still know in Afrikaans? What the? So it's 200 kgs, 200.
Yes, on the deadlift that we did. And then definitely, of course, the World Championship that I've won.
How do you before I even ask how you prepare for a 200 kilogram lift, where do you go mentally? Because you've got to go past that threshold where you almost have to disconnect your brain from what's happening to your body, because it's like David Goggins, right?
That's a crazy person, but yes. You have to have that mental capacity to kind of switch off what your mind is actually telling your body, because
you've done it, don't do it.
Exactly. Our body will always go where our mind pushes it. So your mind needs to be actually the strongest of it all. So to push yourself past the pain, past the you want to give up, but you have to push your brain.
So it's the log that you broke at 80 kg.
Yes.
You broke it twice basically.
Yes.
In one sitting. Then in November you became the African champion, right?
I have African Championship winner 4 times title now, 2016, 17, 19, I think. No, I was then in Dubai. So yeah.
That's very bad when you can't even remember how many times you won.
4 times. No, it's definitely 4 times. It's just the years.
Meaning you can't even, you feel like, whatever.
No, not at all. You're making me blush now.
It's like, I've won so many times, guys, I can't tell you how many times I've won, because it's boring now. Like, can we just grow somebody that can beat me now? You know? No. So you've done it's the log lift that you won. That was your first win, right?
That was my second, because I've done Africa's Strongest in 2016. That was my first competition.
And
then 2017 was the Arnold.
In the African Championship,
that depends from every competition. They give you the events predated about 3 months, if I have to take a rough guess. So you can prepare your best for it, but it always switch between log lift, deadlift. We have a few events in Strongman as a sport, as a regular, and it always can be either for repetitions or max weight that you press. Or we have also implements like sandbags that we do for distance or the fastest time.
What's the one thing that you've, so for example, I often listen to the guys talk, and the stones seem to be one of
the Atlas stones. Yes, love those.
You love them.
Yes.
Really? There's like a group of people that don't like them because of just, they get heavier. You need to kind of really have a technique.
It's a very awkward object, and we have a thing that's called tacky that we put to stick yourself to the stone.
Oh, so there's like a glue type.
Yes. So I think a lot of people get put off by that, but it's really why I love this sport, because I've done powerlifting, I've done a few other sports, but why I stick to Strongwoman, it's awkward objects. It's not something that you can get used to. It always keeps you on your toes and it keeps you uncomfortable. So I think that's what's keeping it interesting to do it for such a long time.
So you have your first one in 2016, right?
Yes.
And that what is the preparation like for the first one? Because you have no idea what to expect.
Didn't.
You're preparing for an event. I mean, by now you're a veteran, you know kind of the process. But what was that first one like, getting ready? And
that was actually amazing because, like I've mentioned, it's awkward objects. It's not something you will go to Virgin Active and you will find it. You can only train your deadlifts there. But the awkward objects, I have to drove. It was a group of men that built these objects. And he actually worked in a panel beater garage. Yes. So it's called Strongman Asylum.
Like panel beater making objects.
Yes. So I drove literally every Saturday morning super early, and you do like a 2-3 hour session just
once a week.
Once a week.
While you're still doing your normal job and everything else.
Yes. And then you train every day. The other day, my coach, that's his speciality, so he sent me programs for the gym, but then you have to put those time in on this awkwardness that you have to, so your strength you kind of build in the week in the gym, but then also you have to get the techniques and the comfortability with the events.
So the first one you get crowned the winner.
Yes.
And there's then that moment. At that point, are you a strong woman at that point, or is this just still for fun?
Sorry, can you repeat that? What-
After you won the first time,
Yes,
in your mind,
the Africa Strongest.
Are you
Okay.
an athlete now, or is this still just for fun?
That was definitely, you have to have the mindset that you're an athlete, because it gets serious. Because from the Africa's Strongest win in 2016, I automatically qualified for the Arnold's Classic
Which
Africa's.
is how many months later?
That was about 5 months later,
Okay.
because it was in November and then May. Yeah, 5-6 months.
So 5
down.
months later, it's
Yes.
on the Classic. And then you're going into Arnold as a champion, right?
Yes, as Africa's champion.
Yeah.
Yes. So then you were like your regional champion, and then it's Africa's as that hosted Arnold Classic.
What is that
Yeah.
feeling like coming into a championship after winning another? Because now you're the top woman, and everybody else is there to beat you, right?
It's a lot of pressure that comes along the way, definitely, and that's where your mindset and lifestyle really has to adapt. Like the days, even if you don't want to, you have to, because that pressure is on you. People expect you to be the best, and I think it's the hardest, becoming a champion or
Less
getting
pressure.
a title.
Becoming champion, more pressure.
It's more pressure, because maintaining it, defending it, it's much harder, because people has now that expectation, you know.
And so you won that too, right?
Yes.
So you
yes.
go from Africa, Arnold, next one is?
A plane pull 2 weeks after.
A what?
A 10-ton plane pull 2 weeks after.
And that is also as a competition, or is that
No, that was a charity event that one of the crazy ideas my coach had. He was like, we're going to pull a plane. I'm like, you're crazy. And then when I opened Facebook, I saw that he put an ad, and who know people that we can get in touch with of getting a plane.
So
and I'm like,
so
you really put it out
then
there,
you
so
pull-
there's no backing out now.
And what was the idea? You were going to pull it for what? A meter? How?
I've pulled it for distance, yes, and then for every meter I've managed to pull it, there was a few companies that
I would pay.
donate
Donate money.
charity towards Jumping Kids Foundation. We choose it specifically because it's also kids without limbs, and it made prosthetics for them also to compete as athletes.
So, okay. I'm trying to. I'm watching the pictures of you pulling the plane here. Shelby just pulled it up.
Yes, on
That's you.
Syria,
That's you
yes.
there, right? That's you there, busy pulling the plane.
100%.
Just tell us, how easy is it to pull a plane?
Definitely not easy.
We all do it.
It's not easy, no, not at all.
We don't advise. Okay.
Don't advise, no.
There's a bunch of strong guys that think they can pull a plane. But obviously you're peak conditioners, so you peak condition, you pull the plane. What's the next thing?
The next thing after that was again Africa's, and then it was.
So this is about a year later.
Yes. Before that was being the first woman to compete internationally, because then I've received my pro status at Arnold Classic.
Okay.
So I was the first woman in Africa to manage that, and I went
wow.
and compete the world's women's strongest in Las Vegas.
And
then
how
that
is
September.
that different
Yes.
from the Africa? Is it vastly different?
That is dramatically. Here you have a little bit of a smaller lineup. You know the people, it's outdoor comps, you know everyone. My first competition overseas was also relatively like a small hand-picked, because you were hand-selected to go and compete. But the traveling is something to get used to, still making your weight. And then the second competition was the OSG, which is the official Strongman Games. So there was a lineup of 50 people just in your weight category.
Wow.
So being here, you like kind of know where you're going to place after events. There, it's 1 second is like 10 placings, like literally.
Yeah.
So you have
I
to
watch them every
push.
year.
Yes, it's insane. So.
Yeah. But where do you have to be mentally? So the Africa is at this level, and now you're in Vegas, and that was Vegas ever on your horizon? Or was it just step by step? We'll just keep on doing one thing after the other?
Step by step, definitely, and also the opportunities of how they invite you, and then the possibility to go, like work-wise, financially-wise. That's another ball game. So, but definitely step by step, I would say, yeah.
So, what is very quickly as we wrap up? What is a day like for you when you're getting ready for competition? What's a normal day like?
In season.
Yeah.
So for me,
in season at the moment?
Yes, my first competition will be in October. Yes, starting to go in season. So for me, it's usually wake up, I do a couple of sessions with my clients, then I have my own session directly after that.
Which is also 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah, max. Okay. Our warm up has to be a little bit better and more intensive than normal gym goers, but
so
after
your warm up would kill me, basically.
no, not that intense.
your warm up would send me to hospital.
Because you have to prepare your body so that you don't get injuries and stuff. But then I would do my session, I would have lunch quickly, and then I would do work again, like a couple of sessions. So
that's absolutely crazy. Now here's my final question. Okay.
Yes.
And this is not an insult on any level. Strong women generally don't, for me, they've got these big backs and they look almost like, like to a large degree. But you look you're very petite. I mean, you're like, if you didn't tell me you're the world's strongest, I would just thought there's a really fit woman.
Yes.
Why do you, I'm going to ask you a very silly question, but why have you been able to maintain a very kind of female-like figure, even though, you're the world's strongest woman, where you look at other women and you go, gee.
So that is all for, so in Strongman, it is open to use. Okay, so but for me it's a line I never wanted to cross, and it's also an example that me and my coach wanted to set, that you can look feminine and be physically very strong. So this is something, because when I started it was always like, I don't want to offend anyone, but it was always overweight, open class women. So it was really either big women or very bulky women that people will start to insult and say you look manly or stuff like that. So it was a very hard sport to step into, but we saw the opportunity of changing your aesthetics, your appearance, being feminine, and then also being strong. So it is all about that, yes. I would say thank you to my coach.
No, that's amazing, that's amazing. Love talking to you. You're also part of our Champions feature that we're doing later in the year. This is just absolutely amazing. Where can people follow you? And you know what I love about the show that we do? We get to speak to amazing South Africans who are doing amazing stuff. And we're encouraging South Africans to get behind South Africans that are doing amazing stuff.
100%.
Where can they go to follow you? Follow your page, cheer you on?
On Instagram, it's Brendali_forever_strong. But I'm mainly active there, and then I just link it to Facebook as well. Yes.
Okay. So
more than welcome to go there.
Brendali_forever_strong.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All three of us will be following you after this.
Thank you.
Okay, you've just gained 3 followers, and at my event on Friday, if nobody follows you, I'm leaving that event immediately.
Yeah. I love it.
Make sure everybody's following you, and if they don't, I'm leaving. I'm done.
You're going to tell us they have her to deal with, right?
The group. 100%. If they don't follow you, I'm out. If you invite me to an event, and if you don't follow Brendali Theron, I'm out. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
100%. The world's strongest woman, Brendali Theron, talking to us about what it takes to become that champion and to fly the flag incredibly high. And it's amazing how many South Africans are doing crazy things. If it's not Trevor Noah, if it's not Brendali, if it's not Drickers, if it's not Rainer,
it's now out globally.
Yeah, if it's not Charlize, if it's not well, can we mention Cyril?
No, I was going to say Elon, let's not mention
Okay, it's a wrap of the show. We'll be back again tomorrow for another amazing show. Don't forget, we'll have Justice in Motion, and we'll also have Katie Mohammed. From us, it's a wrap. Always a pleasure. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening. And remember, be good, do good.